and good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. It's Stefan Sherba with Emotional Soul Healing, and I welcome you here to another guided healing meditation. And for today, we're doing the release on the feeling of freedom. So if this interests you, I welcome you to join along here with this. And if you're driving, or if you're under the influence or operating heavy machinery, please either pull over or do not listen to the recording. Find yourself here into a comfortable position and simply uncrossing your hands, uncrossing your feet, closing your eyes, and taking in 3 deep breaths. And in your mind's eye, visualizing having a large silver plate. And on the silver plate, I'd like you to empty out as much as possible whatever's been occupying your mind, either from today, from the last week, or the past month. And there's no judgment, there's no blame here. It's simply a great opportunity to empty whatever's occupying your mind and placing it onto this silver plate. And whenever you're ready, watching this silver plate rising higher and higher into the vastness of the universe until you no longer see it. Imagine yourself here, walking through your garden, sensing and feeling the sun's warmth in your skin, and continuing walking through your garden, smelling the flowers and trees. If you're by the ocean, the sea breeze, or if you're out by the forest, and walking towards the edge of your garden, and at the edge of your garden, walking up the set of stairs, up to the door, guarding your own private island. In the doorway, there is a key. Taking this key and unlocking this door, stepping into your island, closing the door behind you, locking it, and keeping the key with you. This is your home away from home. This is your private sanctuary, and no one is allowed here without your express permission or consent. I'd like you to invoke and invite here onto your island your younger inner child, and invoking and inviting the youngest inner child here for today, and giving this inner child here both a hug and a kiss. And as you gaze deep into the eyes of your inner child, what do you see behind those eyes? Is this inner child truly happy? Is this inner child wondering what you're doing here? Or behind those eyes, is there a loss of identity? Perhaps a loss of freedom? Is there a sense of worry? Or is there any hidden tears there behind this inner child's eyes? I'd like you to give your inner child here both a hug and a kiss, and thank your inner child for being here. I'd like you to invoke and invite here onto your island your master guide and guides from the light. I'd like you to simply acknowledge them and thanking your guides for being here. And if you see them or not, it doesn't matter. Simply having the understanding that your guides are here from the light. Your guides are going to be showing you here on your island some older movies, some older experiences that are coming from your past. The guides are going to be showing you a large theater here. And I'd like for you and your child to walk to this theater. Find yourself here into a comfortable position. Find yourself into a comfortable place. And enjoy your movies. Whatever needs to show up in front of your mind's eye will be shown to you. And if nothing shows up there, just remain in your silence. Enjoy your movies. And I'll be back with you here in a few moments. I'd like you to invoke and invite here your healer guides and guides from the light. And these guides are going to be assisting you with releasing any of the files, any of the feelings associated with the feeling of freedom. You're going to be asking your guides here from the light to assist you with having all the files and all the feelings coming in from the family, the culture, and the religion, and anything coming in from one's collective past, energetically from one's past, present, and future self. Everything stemming in from the inner child, back from the initial trigger, the initial boiler point, whether it was perceived or experienced, known or unknown to you. You're going to ask your guides, including all the face masks worn throughout all the years, what was perceived as a sense of freedom. Behind all those masks, what were all the other masks worn behind it? Ask your guides to place all these files and all these feelings collectively into the field with peace, compassion, universal love and grace. Taking in a deep breath, please. Holding it, and with the purifying exhale, breathing it all out. For all the files and for all the feelings, coming in with the feeling or the emotion of freedom, and ask yourself deep down inside, either mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, how free are you with all this? If it's mentally and emotionally, that freedom on the inside is beyond the understanding of winning the lottery ticket. What about the feelings or the essence of being free of any thoughts, limiting beliefs, or any emotions that are holding you back? If there's any thoughts or feelings or any negative programming or negative thoughts that are no longer serving you, if there's negative people in your life or toxic relationships, if it's the freedom from all of your fears, all of your worries, all of your anxieties, and freedom from any of your responsibilities that are holding you back. If there's any feelings coming up with this, if there's any freedoms for whatever one was doing to either mask the feeling of freedom, whether it was overindulging or underindulging, whether it was over shopping or under shopping, overeating or undereating, overworking or underworking, if it's over sex or under sex, if it's over drinking or under drinking, anything too much of or not enough of, I'd like you to ask your guides here to assist you with having all these files and all these feelings, known or unknown to you, Everything coming back in from the inner child, back from mom and dad, from the family, the culture, and the religion, and any of the collective masks worn throughout all the years. Everything stemming back from the initial trigger, the initial boiler point, whether it was perceived or experienced, and asking the guides here from the light to assist with having as many of these cords, known or unknown to you, collectively cut and unplugged and placed into the field, collectively from your past, present, and future self. You're going to place all these files and all these feelings into the field with peace, compassion, universal love and grace. Taking in a deep breath, please. Holding it. And with a purifying exhale, breathing it all out. For any of the files and for any of the feelings coming in with that freedom, is the freedom coming in from, depending on, for some, depending on the culture? Was there a limitation or was there a restriction coming in from the culture? Was there a program or a belief system coming in from the government? Was there a feeling coming up for the loss of freedom, either coming in from the culture, the family, or the societal pressure, or what's deemed as the norm, and deep down inside having that burning conviction that there's more to this than just this facade of a certain freedom? Behind this freedom, what are the risks or the actions taken to attain one's own inner freedom? And if it's being free from people that are no longer serving you, if it's freedom from negative thoughts, people, environments, or whatever's going on in your life currently right now, asking your guides here to assist you with having all these cords, all these files, and all these feelings, known or unknown to you, back from the initial trigger, the initial boiler point, received or experienced, known or unknown to you, and all the known masks with this known or unknown masks worn throughout all the years. And asking your guides here to cut and unplug as many of these cords here back from the family, the culture, and the religion, and everything there collectively from your past, present, and future self. You're going to place all these files and all these feelings into the field with peace, compassion, universal love and grace. Taking in a deep breath, please. Holding it. And with a purifying exhale, breathing it all out. For all the files and for all the feelings coming in with that sense of freedom, even if it's coming in from the feeling of pride, because the feeling of pride identifies with pride cometh before a fall. Any of the files and any of the feelings underneath the feeling of pride. And these can be the feelings or the emotions, either dealing with fear, is dealing with grief, loss, sadness. If there's feelings of anger or despair. If there's the deeper feelings of the inner hurt, the sadness, feelings of guilt, or feelings of shame, or feeling humiliated. You're going to ask your guides here to assist you with having as much of these cords energetically placed into the field, everything back in from the inner child, known or unknown to you, perceived or experienced, back from the initial trigger, the initial boiler point, everything coming in from the family, the culture, and the religion, and from the collective environment, collectively from your past, present, and future self. Asking you guys here from the light to place all these files and all these feelings into the field with peace, compassion, universal love and grace. Taking in a deep breath, please. holding it, and with the purifying exhale, breathing it all out. From my own experience, freedom for me entailed a number of things. And that freedom included the fear of speaking. It was the fear of being seen. If it was the fear of overworking all the time, or masking it up with either attaining a degree, attaining a college diploma, or what's deemed in society as a profession or as a career, just to mask whatever was going on the inside that deep down inside wasn't expressed properly for many years. For any of the files and any of the feelings, if there's that massive pressure on the inside, and if one's doing something for somebody else instead of for themselves, and that freedom is being free of any of the resentment, any of the feelings of judgment, if there's feelings of betrayal, back with resentment, frustration, or deep down inside resenting the whole thing for whatever happened. And there's no judgment and there's no blame with this. For any of the files or for any of the feelings, if one winds up feeling stuck or having to sacrifice oneself due to somebody else's stuckness, and especially if it's coming with a larger size soul or as an older master number, and from that energy or that intensity of it, feeling stuck by it, feeling overburdened by it, and simply having a very, very tough time handling it. I'd like you to ask your guides to assist you for any of the masks, known or unknown to you, worn throughout all those experiences and through all those years. Asking your guides here from the light to assist you with having all these cords and all these files and all these feelings, everything coming back in from the inner child, known or unknown to you, perceived or experienced, back from the initial trigger point, and the initial boiler point. And any of the masks worn, everything coming in from the family, from the culture and the religion, and everything collectively, energetically from one's past, present, and future self. We're going to place all these files and all these feelings into the field with peace, compassion, universal love and grace. Taking in a deep breath, please. Holding it. And with a purifying exhale, breathing it all out. For any of the files and for any of the feelings coming in with that 5 vibration. For that 5 vibration, if it's being free, if it's being free for the sake of being free, what's that irritation deep down on the inside? What is it that one overdoes or underdoes or escapes just on the weekend for the Saturday and Sunday, just to repeat the whole process again on Monday to Friday? Or if one's self-employed, working all the time, working really hard, playing hard, and then at some point winding up in the hospital. If there was an experience there where one's attaining a goal or attaining a dream and being an absolute workaholic, anything to attain that freedom, and then at some point, either again winding up in the hospital, or feeling shut down, or from the experience either being blindsided from an experience, and there's no judgment, there's no blame with this. And from that, it was either saving face or doing anything and everything just to mask that experience. Whether it's with drinking, whether it's with substance abuse, or whatever else the addiction is, just to avoid attaining that deeper inner freedom from being stuck in the rut. If it's in a financial rut, a working rut, if it's stuck attaining either as a career or in a relationship, or if it's the feelings that deep down inside, stuck for a better choice of words here, that perhaps unfortunately from a younger age, either the right leadership wasn't provided, the ability of not being able to articulate or communicate properly, or not handling the relationships properly. If there was no stability, if there was a loss of freedom perhaps at a younger age, and from that loss of freedom, perhaps feeling overly responsible towards everybody else except for themselves. If there was that loss of freedom, perhaps there was also a sense of a loss of trust in someone that deep down inside they really looked up to, or placed on top of a high pedestal, and then years later wound up resenting it. If it's the feeling of fear, or the feeling of freedom, and deep down inside wishing one could be able to be, or setting that intention of being financially free at 40 or 45, and still finding themselves in the hamster wheel working. What is it from behind all those masks worn throughout all those years? What is it that's either unconsciously, what's the roadblock that's been jamming everything? And for another big one here, from that freedom, what is it from your past that you had a really, really tough time letting go of or being free from? Was it free from either a relationship? Was it freedom from a loved one? Was it the freedom there, or the loss of freedom with either a loss of someone deep down inside that was very, very special and near and dear to them? Whatever the experience, and again, there's no judgment and there's no blame with this, that freedom on the positive side is there with actually being free. Free in one's way of thinking, thoughts, being free, being clear, being able to articulate, being able to think on one's own. And technically coming here for the extension, for that freedom not only for themselves, but they're also coming here for that freedom for their soul. As for each and every one of us, as we're here as a volunteered lifetime, as a volunteered human experience throughout this lifetime, the soul is asking for that freedom on some level. And that freedom can entail things dealing with karma. So if there's any negative karma deep down inside, if you'd like to let it go. If there's anything coming in from the family that deep down inside you wished you had the guts to let it go. Or from that freedom that deep down inside you wished you had the guts to tell somebody this, this, and that, or whatever else it is. That freedom that, whether it was as a resentment or something that however big it is from one's past, if you had a really, really tough time, if you wound up feeling imprisoned by it, held back by it, if it affected your own creativity, or if it stifled your own creativity, if it affected your own life force down in the sacral chakra. You're going to ask your guides here from the light to assist you with having all these files, all these feelings, known and unknown to you. Everything back in from the initial trigger, the initial boiler point, perceived or experienced. Everything coming in from the inner child, back from mom and dad, from the family, the culture and the religion, from the collective environment. And you're going to ask your guides to assist you with having all these cords and all these files and feelings collectively placed into the field collectively from your past, present, and future self, and placing all these files and all these feelings into the field with peace, compassion, universal love and grace. Taking in a deep breath, please. Holding it, and with a purifying exhale, breathing it all out. I'd like you to take a moment there between you and your inner child, just to take a moment there and either discuss amongst each other with how this all made you feel. We're taking a moment there of inner reflection of what is it, or what changes, or out of necessity, what new actions or what new risks is a person willing to take moving forward with this. And from all that's been released for today, how does your inner child feel about it? And how do you feel about it? If you ask yourself deep down inside, truly, how free are you? Truly, how free are you? On the top of your crown, on the top of your head, it's going to be a small lotus bud. And same thing for your inner child and with all of your guides here. And you're going to be embodied with a pillar of white light from the universe. And allowing this white light as it touches the top of your crown, being filled in with a pillar of white light. And allowing this divine white light as it touches the top of your crown, channeling down through your spine to the tips of your fingers and down to the bottom of your toes. Keep filling yourself in here with the white light, being completely showered here with the white light. There is an abundance of this white light, and it's not your own light, it's the light coming here from the universe. And say if there's somebody in the family, or if there's somebody, whether it's at work, or if there's somebody in your own personal life, if you're having a tough time with them, you can ask the universe on your behalf to send them white light. Keep filling yourself in here with the white light and sending this white light outside of your etherical being. You can send and radiate this white light several kilometers and several miles away from your home. Keep showering yourself here with the white light. And you're going to ask your guides here from the light to assist you. You're going to ask your guides to assist you here with embodying a pillar of universal love, being embodied with a pillar of universal peace, and a pillar of universal joy. And you're going to ask your guides here to have that embodied into your physical being. And thanking the universe for the white light. I'd like you to give your inner child here both a hug and a kiss. And as you gaze deep into the eyes of your inner child, what can you do to assist yourself and your inner child moving forward with this? And when could your inner child do the same thing for you? giving your inner child here both a hug and a kiss, and thanking this inner child for assisting you throughout this meditation. Thanking your guides here from the light. And whenever you're ready, walking back to the door, guarding your island, taking out your key, and unlocking this door, stepping out from your island, closing the door behind you, locking it, and keeping the key with you. Walking back down the set of stairs, and back out and into your garden. And throughout your garden, picking up a flower or two. And whenever you're ready, gently moving your hands, moving your feet, opening your eyes, taking in 1 or 2 deep breaths. And welcome back. I would recommend here, have a glass of water, and if you're feeling tired, go have a nap. If you're able to, go to bed at an earlier time. Be kind with yourself, treat each other well, and until next time, have an amazing day. Thank you.